Thank you very much for having another opportunity to talk at this conference. Today I'm going to share another completely different topic. In 1932, there's an international conference on light therapy. And in this conference, there was a gentleman. Hold on a second, I just need to go back with the slides. Sorry, go backward. So in 1932, in this conference, Nobel Prize with the board was invited to give a talk. And he talked about life and light. He raised up such a question. Is it possible, before we reach the conclusion with the physical experiment based on the physical ability as human we have, we already lost something fundamental? You see, we can only see a gleam of light. We can only hear a little bit of sound in the nature. And we can only touch what we can feel. So his question was very challenging for the scientists and doctor at that time, but one person was inspired by his talk. He's a physics student. He started to look into life and biology. And because of his work, we understood genetic information in the virus, and he became the father of the modern biology. And he further inspired another Nobel Prize winner, Erwin Schrödinger, who raised up a fundamental question: what is life? And that also inspired the next student in physics, went into study and won Nobel Prize to understand the DNA structure. So what it all has to do with what we talk about today? Information, it means give a form to the mind. Life on Earth, not biologically, but informationally seated. See, everything we measure, everything we see in biology, in physics, in medicine, everything, behind there's an invisible field, and there's information behind. So today we enter a stage or life that is full of information, and information is considered fifth state of matter. See, today you see DNA, computer, AI, everything becomes so familiar that we're talking about it fundamentally about moving to the next generation of information system. So what's wrong with medicine? Medicine, we base on what we can see. Everything we can see in the whole universe, all the matter is only 4%. 4%. So behind that 4%, you see inside our body, outside our body, everything is invisible field, invisible energy. So that's what Einstein talked about. The field is the only governing agency for the particles. So when we talk about evidence-based medicine, we already lost 96% of truth behind. How is it possible? Human body is such complex, follow the slowest move of chemical receptors. What about United Front on Diabetes? I use this as a good example. If you have one person is having a false knowledge, you put all of them together, it's still false. If one is blind, put together, it's still blind. This is the problem. Logic only can take us from A to B, but imagination takes us to everywhere. So welcome to the world of fractal. So sounds very unfamiliar to us, but everything we experience in daily life, everything you look at, all different things, they follow the exact same geometric structure. From our DNA to our physical appearance to the nature, everything. If that is not familiar to you, look at this, my friend. What you see here, the life on the tree, the life on the earth, everything embedded exactly the same geometric structure, mathematical structure. And if you look at that, you look at this. We talk about tree of life. You look at the lung inside us. Exact same structure. So nature in life and life in nature is the true human nature. This is the foundation we are talking about. See, everything we study, all these things, follows exactly the same geometric structure. Doesn't matter how long you analyze heartbeat, they follow the exact same pattern. In 1967, Mandelbrot, a mathematician, published this landmark article, Changed the World. How long is the coast of Britain? A simple geometric question changed the world because we actually understand as you reduce the measurement scale, the accuracy increases infinitely. So basically, everything down to the smallest scale, they exactly follow the same mathematical structure. So today, fractal in medicine has already been taken up in all different fields, and they just look at cancer, diabetes, mental, cardiovascular, etc. So you look at this, you see, we look at structure. When you're healthy, all the vascularization is completely follow mathematical. And if you're not, then you lost it. And you have a chance to normalize, or you completely develop the next different stage. So you look at a pattern, the deviation from the so-called golden ratio is exactly how the illness is reflected. So how to understand this? I want to take one step closer to let us understand the implication. Today, all the doctors, we're working like application engineer. We look at all different applications, but what is fractal analysis? It's a software engineer working with only the fundamental sorting code, 0, 1. So here, what's the difference? As a doctor, we go to all different fields, but here we just look at one pattern. So what's the difference? Here, as a doctor, we look at one at a time, different things, different organ tissue, all heterogeneous. And everything based on subjective definition. That's why we constantly discussing redefine diabetes, redefine this, redefine that, because everything subjectively based on our known. And what we try to do in medicine, to suppress the unknown, to fix what's known. What is here is one for all. We study the systematic objective mathematical reason. The objective is universal principle, independent of whatever you study. So this is the fundamental difference. And what is even more important, most important, human body is very complex, the data system. We need to understand complex system. That is what a fractal can help you. And also about feature extraction, the information extraction. That's what medicine is about. And it's also about visualization, data visualization, and also dimension reduction. Very important. Today, in medicine, everything is about dimension. Bring the science, quantum, etc., down to the physical, mathematical, one dimension, two dimension. So we look at here, see, we talk about constantly we are the food we eat, but what are the food? Every layer of our body, from your physical body to energy body to your spiritual, every layer, this is the input, that's the food. And our body is simply subconscious mind. So with this is the connection of the whole body, and that's where we talk about stress. So what is the stress? What is the determinating factor about what we are? All these things, behind what you can do in medicine, psychology, you have no evidence. Emotion, you have no evidence. Experience, everybody is different. Breathing, exercise, air, diet, food. Individual, everybody is different. And behind that, that's all the thing we talk without any evidence. We talk about evidence-based everything. We have no evidence at all. So this is just a publication just this last year, December. The scientists were shocked by a nature observation. A piece of metal, if you tear it, and naturally heal itself. How is that possible? Even metal can heal itself. Because everything in the universe is consists of two kinds of force. One is deforming, one is restoring. And that also applies in medicine. So even in the 18th centuries, the nursing already documented what did they observe. Doesn't matter whatever patient they have, but actually what the patient really need could be very simple thing, just as fresh air has a warm or quietness, cleanness, just the simplest thing. And that finding later by Dr. Hans Seeley, as a medical student, he first time brought the concept of stress from physics to medicine. He said it doesn't matter patients have a cancer or anything. As soon as they are ill, even their facial expression will betray them. So basically it was saying the signature fingerprint of your physical mental condition is everywhere. So what do we need to look? And that's how we develop. And today the foundation about stress that we've been talking about today, mental stress, physical stress, all based on his work, general adaptation syndrome. So where to find the stress? Every heartbeat is a superposition of the entire process. So you say every heartbeat is responding to the internal nerve, brain, organs, and to external factors. So we all measuring the heartbeat. We also look at the ECG, but every ECG, every heartbeat is connected with all different activities inside the body. So from the heart to the brain, this all the same energy transfer. If you're healthy, the energy transfer is exactly proportional. If you're unhealthy, you start to deviate. So with that, I'm just showing you the power, what a fractal analysis can do. This Chi fractal, this is a system I've been working for a decade. And I just show you some example what we can do with it. The system consists of 4 technologies. One is stress theory, one is heart variability, which is all familiar to us, and the fractal dynamic, which is the science we just mentioned, and then the neurodynamic algorithm that the preparatory in the system. So what we can do with it? Just by understanding fundamental to do the dimension reduction, we can do analysis on the physiology, on the energy, bioenergy, dosha analysis, Ayurveda dietary recommendation, breathing remedy, and sound healing. All these performed in one test. And this is give you a structure, how it looks like, the program. You see, starting we look at heart managed by autonomic system. Autonomics, above that we have a hormone, above that is mind. So just starting from a base, and we can go into zooming into each level, from cardio to stress to energy to brain, bowel age, vitality. There are more things. I wouldn't go, because the time limited, I wouldn't go to the details and how it works. And looking to even more information we have here, including the chakras and meridian. But what I want to talk is application, what you can do with it. I'm going to give you some true examples I conducted just in India. So first thing I was very important, how to understand the mind. 95% of decision in adulthood is based on subconscious learning in childhood. To understand our brain is vital as a doctor. This is something that really we need to understand more profound. Today we talk about ADHD, autism, etc. I can show you, I can just find those patients without anything just by this. And I also today I tell people everywhere I go to present anywhere, it's always contradicting, challenging to people's conventional knowledge. I give you a very simple explanation. What is ADHD? What is autism? Okay? So our constant mind, the left and right brain, I wouldn't go through the details. We are dancing between the three-dimensional time-space in our left brain, logical language, and at the same time dancing with the quantum, which is the subconscious, deep conscious. When you sleep, you will meditate. So these two completely different. One is logical, one is intuitive. So if I walk like this, I have no problem. Am I? But what happens if I dancing just like this? This is ADHD. What if I dance like this? What happened? Internal conflict, autism. I show you this example how I can prove that. So this is a very simplified explanation. You see, how the mind connects with body. I tell to people today, say, every single emotion never hang outside your body. It's always in your body. So you see, this example, a very healthy young gentleman, all the chakras fantastic except the second chakras. As Indian, you know what it means, sacred chakras. It's water. What is water? Water is the mother, right? So ask him, how's your relationship with your mother? He said, oh, very good. I said, okay, I explain why I asked this question. And then he told me, he haven't talked with his mother for years. As I said, emotion never hang outside your body. How many of us hide our emotion? The signatures everywhere in our body. I can also just find out, particularly this example of a breast cancer patient. I don't need to look at anything. I see this is the internal conflict between the giving of heart chakra's energy and the sorrow they hide inside them, inside their meridian. And that conflict, emotional conflict, you quite often. And later I give you more examples. This is the first example I want to share with you about type 2 diabetes patient. I did a few years back in India after lecture. I went to the clinic and doctor gave the patient and I did a live contact. So how we look at this patient? First I say, okay, the patient heart beat extremely fast. So I first conclusion, the medication is not really suited for him. The heartbeat is too fast. So what I can say is heart is absolutely low, particularly autonomic system is only 6%, hormone, brain, etc. Okay, now the conclusion is here, cardiovascular risk, autonomic dysfunction. And then what's the next layer? It's like a peeled onion, I explain to people. Layer by layer. Okay, so autonomic dysfunction. So where is it, the problem? Heart reserve is a problem, and heart variability is a problem, and then the stress, where is the stress? Hormones, too much hormone, and particularly mental stress, a lot more. Okay, so now look at the next thing. Why is diabetes, actually? Brain. Very active right brain. Right brain, I say subconscious mind. I see many people don't understand. I met people who say, even leading doctors, I talk about the spiritual connection that people don't understand. I say, very simple. You know, this is a well-known doctor. I say, you just tell me how's your memory. Is graphic or digital? Is it graphic? I say, yeah, sure. Why? This is the picture of true oneness. Everything present the same. So many of you are sitting here, the good doctors, you all using this. Why? Because this side brain, this side brain, how much difference? The logic mind per second, you can only run like 40 things at the same time. You know how much this can do? 25,000. So these kind of people, they are very creative. They are very, very restless because their mind is a truckload of idea, thoughts. They're very busy mind. So this slide also very difficult to fall asleep because this mind also very active at night. So this is also the reason why he needs so much sugar. I always say, why we need sugar? Because 60% goes to the brain. So this is already, you see, from here I'll know he will also need a lot of sugar. And then let's go to what else we can say. I look at the rhythm and say, okay, he has more energy also, show you at night. See the graph go up, it's more energy. And then you see the heart already have a problem. And what else we have here? You see the liver, gallbladder. And yesterday I talked a lot about liver in diabetes. It's already show high demand because that's where the sugar goes. And then the digestion. I see, diabetes patient. Today we all talk about the digestion, what you eat. But see, everything you need digest, also particularly your emotion. And this is the biggest problem. Emotional detox. And very few actually really think through. Because you see, I talked yesterday, you eat food, you think you eat a lot. You don't realize how much air you breathe, more than the food, and how much thought you have. So the next, I'll give you example. This extreme obese patient that it really, 25 years, need to be operated. And then again, was in the hospital. And the doctor said, this is Dr. Chi from Sweden, just do analysis. From the moment I opened my mouth, she started to cry. Till the end. You know what I told her? I just look at this. I see you're a very sensitive person. Sensitive to nature, sensitive to emotion, and dealing with people is not your strength. And you have a lot of internal conflict. Just pouring down the tears. Because something people have never told, have never discovered. And even more because of conflict, because it presented not only ADHD, but autistic internal conflict. So these kind of people, you need space and time and need their own like a rhythm, routine, and they also need to be close to nature, and they like children, etc. So this is just something that inside of us we can never really explore. And then go to the mind-body connection, how everything connection. Emotional issue in the heart. Mental issue in the third eye. And mother relationship. When I talk about the mother relationship, she was crying. Her mother sit next to her. And you can't imagine that. And also I explained this eventually about how that mental aspect, emotion aspect, I changed her. And then she told me, yes, exactly. When I was 6, 7, 8 years old, I started changing my diet habit. So this is what I talk about, the power of true knowledge, rather than subjective, we mainly made understand based on a kadaf, based on statistic. What do we see? You put the people together and say, oh, this is what we see, this is what we don't see. You look into the nature. We cannot fall behind the nature. So you see, this is the same thing. As I just speed up, I want to go, I don't want to go over the time. So the same thing, you see the changes with sleep and the digestion, the liver issue, breathing issue, more issues is. And here is very heartbreaking. 24 years student, very healthy, energy healer, help other people. He come to me, you see, by coincidence, and everything looks fantastic. And then I look at his analysis. I immediately told him his emotional problem, childhood problem, etc., etc. You know what? In the end, he told me about his history. This person, depressed, have a mental issue, even refused by Medicare because they couldn't find any evidence. And this is a person, when another time I was dressed in Indian lecture, he called me on my phone, want to commit suicide. This, today, you see, mental problem. How many? How to find them? Cancer. Without testing anything, I just show this is cancer. Typically, I find all different cancer patients just by 5 minutes test. And then today we talk about the meditation, yoga practice, how to measure it. I analyze it to exactly which stage you are in. And also based on this, it's also very important because time wouldn't go through. How do you conduct consultation? If you understand the internal mechanism of the body of the individual, you can conduct a much better consultation. And then also immediate biofeedback. This is a cancer patient. You see, just with the 1% the brain capacity, and afterward I can make it to over 59%. That's the power. And that's what I have demonstrated also in the 5-star wellness center. So this is another example, athlete, top athlete, professional. And then after, I have done all these things, everything went to 100%. Not only that, even above the standard we have found with the system. And also, after I guide him through the meditation, it get a joy of life, the gamma wave. Now I want to show you something else. This has just happened 2-3 weeks ago when I was in Mumbai at a conference. After the talk, I did a demonstration at the diabetes conference. This is a cardiologist, 75 years, never meditate, never done anything. And he been following me after my talk, and we talk a lot. Next day, he started to ask me to, what I do. I say I do a demonstration. See, I did a test. And then what I told him, you have something came from previous life. How is it possible? I say, previous life, you must be a yogi. How I can find it? Fractal. You see what happened? You must know what it is. As soon as I put him on the breathing, I do the breathing treatment for him. I told him, keep your eyes open. I want you to be aware of where you are. And his eyes immediately rolled it up. This is the typical state of samadhi. And then again and again just happened. And he was shocked himself. He never aware of himself. Not only this, I even find that I even can understand, I see why people become a gay. I have so many examples I find. You see, the power of truly understanding the nature of the body. See, today, I see why I'm talking about those. That's so far from medicine. We have to understand life's only in one equation, and the whole body, everything we work is one thing. Sensing what? Oxygen and sugar. Oxygen and sugar must turn into water. That's the true essence of life. Today I was shocked that I talked with people, very few people even heard about those studies on sugar, on the water. So today you say, it doesn't matter what you eat, what you breathe. So today we talk about breathing. I see how many people are aware of it. Everything in nature, you bring energy, you have to burn. In nature, we will burn wood, we burn coal. So in our body, we burn oxygen. So that is the fossil fuel. That's the nature. That's why we all getting old, we all going to die. But water is the true green energy. In the nature, it's electric. In our body, must be embedded in water. Without that, we have all these problems we talk about, diseases, etc., and also particularly about the mind. And I give you an example. This is the power. This is the $1 million smile. Cancer patient with cancer antigen go over 400. It should be below 30. And he tried all different treatments, etc., and came back to Sweden. He couldn't walk. And this is how this started. 12th December, he came. I started to work with him. And this is the result. In 2 months, went down to 26. And then in 1 month, 15th January, I come to India 4 years ago for conference. And she stood up to come to door to meet me. And then when I go to US, and she went on to another holiday. So today, in medicine, we're facing tremendous challenge from all the angles. So we keep on trying. We're using the same tool. We're using the same mind setting. So this is my message. Time for us to wake up. Stop building the false dream. We are facing catastrophic future. And right now, it's the time for us to look something beyond what we used to do. the future is already here. Thank you very much.